Assalamu alaikum. Have you ever wondered that why people are ditching these 9 to 5 jobs and they're turning towards other income earning avenues like digital marketing, like ride hailing jobs, like jobs related to the food service and other online jobs. While this new avenue of earning has a name and it is called the gig economy. So what is the gig economy? Gig economy is characterized by short-term, project-based jobs that are often mediated by digital platforms like Uber, like freelancer.com, like upwork.com, etc., etc., that you might have come across at any point in your life. So the ILO, the International Labour Organization, has stated that this employment model has evolved from an from a supplementary or an auxiliary model to a more core or primary employment model. The, the labor dynamics or the employment dynamics across the globe have shifted. So this economical sector has evolved so much that 8 months into this year, as we are in August, this economic sector is worth $582.2 billion, while some market forces and expert forecasts projecting it up to $600 billion by the end of this very year. The compound annual growth rate stands at a whopping 15.79%, which means that by 2034, this sector will be worth an astonishing $2.1 trillion. So the next question that comes in mind is, who are the big players? Who are the big contributors? Many of you might have guessed that who comes first on the list. Definitely it is the US, which contributes $192.1 billion to this sector. Following it up is China, that contributes $171.1 billion, and then comes the Europe, which contributes $145.1 billion. So what is the reason behind these countries contributing so much to this sector? This is due to highly advanced digital infrastructure, due to high platform penetration, due to diversified service offerings. Still, our countries are quite lacking in this sector. Although some of the we are possessing the major chunk of the human resource on the face of this planet, but still we are lacking as in comparison to these countries. But still, I'm going to discuss it later in the video, that we are still making progress in this sector. So what is the skill composition of this new economic sector? 47% people in this sector do medium skilled jobs, which are digital marketing and stuff like this. Then comes the low skill sector, the low people who possess lower category skills, which are data entry and that is basic administration. So they comprise 32% of this whole economy, 31% of this whole economy. And thirdly, comes those big players who are highly skilled, and they are people who possess skills in software engineering, AI, and others. So the World Economic Forum has reported that people who possess these skills, their number is in this sector, in this gig economy, is going up, is rising rapidly. So people are quite motivated to turn to this sector of the economy. So what is Pakistan's role in this gig economy? Where do we stand in this whole sector? So as Pakistan's economy is quite feeble at the moment, this new innovation or this new growing sector has brought life to this economy, where the IT exports that we did in the previous year, 2024, was $3.8 billion, which was a 18% rise from the previous year. Our trade surplus in this sector was $2.4 billion, which was the most amongst all these service-related sectors. In freelancer earnings, Pakistan earned $779 million in 2024, which was a 90% rise or a 90% increase from the previous year, which means that if this sector is properly administrated, administered, and proper reforms are made, we do have a huge potential in this sector. The government has also incentivized this sector, and they have applied tax deductions or tax reductions in this sector. Also, they have allowed the companies to retain 50% of the foreign currencies with them. Also, the e-Rozgar program has trained over 4.55 billion or million new new youth from the country and new persons generally from the country. Also, there are 2.37 billion gig workers present at the moment in the country. So this sector possesses a huge potential. The thing that is of prime importance here is that 42% of these 2.37 million are women. In a country like Pakistan, where women are not, where female participation rates in labor by labor I am not saying physical labor, I am saying whole on in a broader spectrum, 42% women are working in this sector. That is quite a substantial number in a country like Pakistan. So why are people motivated to enter this sector? What is the reason behind that? The reason is flexibility, is entrepreneurial opportunity, is ditching the conventional standards, is ditching the the limit of hours that you have to work. That is the biggest motivation. But with the pros comes the cons. The cons are also quite substantial. The cons are that when that 32%, that 54% of these gig workers, they are not insured. They don't receive pensions. They don't receive paid leaves. 32% of them struggle with paying their bills in comparison to the 18% that opt for more conventional jobs. Another big reason behind this are the infrastructure gaps, especially in countries like Pakistan, where sometimes there are issues related to the internet. Sometimes we see political unrest that causes problems, and there is no PayPal access available to the citizens of Pakistan. So these are the cons that also exist with all these lavish luxuries that of work that I stated earlier. But Forbes has stated that that people who are highly skilled and they are working in sectors like cybersecurity, AI, in digital marketing, in multimedia, in video creation, etc., etc., earn $50 to $100 per hour in these sectors in gig economy. This is equal to a normal salary of a person who opts for a conventional job. So that is the difference. That is the staggering difference between a conventional and a unconventional way of earning at this point in time. The ILO, the International Labor Organization that I have referred to earlier, has has been talking about bringing in new laws new innovations, so that these constraints like these no paid leaves, no pensions should be can be bridged, and these gaps can be bridged, and we can move towards a more potent and um, more stable gig sector and gig economy. So where there are pros, there are cons as well. So Pakistan has a huge potential in this sector. So I think people in power should really give it a thought that this sector should be developed, and it can bear some really good fruit